Welcome to our first official video of Why Hasn't This Made National News Yet by Newsbits. Today we're going to be looking at a local article by ABC Local, Philadelphia, about a shooting spree that happened at a family-oriented community bowling alley. The headline we have for today is 17-year-old accused in deadly East Norriton, Pennsylvania bowling alley shooting turns himself into the police. The shooting killed one man and injured four others. Police say the 17-year-old who opened fire inside the Montgomery County bowling alley on Saturday night, killed one person and injured four others, has turned himself in. On Sunday night, authorities say 17-year-old Jamal Barnwell of Upper Darby turns himself in and is facing murder, assault, and weapons charges. Authorities say Barnwell walked into the bowling alley with two other men and an altercation ensued with the victim, 29-year-old Frank Wade of West Philadelphia. About 15 shots went off, and this was a bowling alley filled with about 50 to 75 people, including a bunch of families and young children. We have a posted interview with the DA, and the audio is terrible, so I'm just going to sum up. The question I wanted to highlight is there a motive right now currently known? And the DA gives an answer that there is no motive currently known. This is at about the 13:46 mark in this video. I encourage you to go to CBS Local Philadelphia, and you guys can watch this whole interview. We're going to look at what CBS Philadelphia covered and said about this area. You get a little interview from one of the victims that was in the bowling alley at the time of the shooting.
Murder. Over the weekend, East Norriton Police Chief Brandon Pasquale said this was the first time a shooting like this has ever happened in this community. We spoke with one witness who was here eating dinner in the restaurant when the shooting happened.
Everyone was pretty much running for their lives. We didn't know where the shooter was. We didn't know if they were still inside. We didn't know if they were outside. But, you know, in that type of situation, you don't know exactly what to do, so you just kind of follow your gut. So many of us ended up scaling some snowbanks and running to the Pep Boys, which was still open.
Now this is another look at
Now I keep asking myself why this hasn't made national news. I'm going to let you guys ask the same question if you're curious. I don't think we'll ever get real answers, but we'll look at who's actually covering it. So we're going to see if CNN has covered this. And this is Tuesday the 23rd. This happened on Saturday the 19th, so it's been a good amount of time for these news organizations to cover it. CNN, no coverage. We'll look at Fox. It looks like Fox Local has covered it, but it hasn't made national news from a Fox perspective. Let's see, New York Times. No coverage there. And lastly, we're going to look at Washington Post. I see nothing there. So we're going to quickly see who is actually covering this. We're going to see ABC Local has covered it, CBS Local has covered it, NBC Local has covered it, we see Fox Local has covered it, Philly Voice, which sounds like a local newspaper, Philadelphia, has covered it, Times Herald, not so familiar on them, but I don't think they're considered mainstream national news. So at this point, we're going to kind of wrap up the video, and I just want you guys to realize that there may be a selective Overton window that is being presented by the national news, by the mainstream media. I have seen them cover a lot less than this. So I'm just going to close the video on why hasn't the national media, national news, covered this story. Thank you guys for joining.